Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be doing this basically like a sort of like an overview of George Harrison's discography, and yeah, I'm going to get right into it. My what are my thoughts about George Harrison as a soul Beatle? Well, here's my thoughts. He had a lot of highs, very little lows, and yeah, he was just great artist. He was the quiet Beatle. He was very frustrated towards the end of the Beatles' career because he wasn't able to. He was mostly rejected most of his songs because Paul McCartney and John Lennon were also great songwriters and they wanted to have their contributions to be shown, and it sort of just it put it put George Harrison in a really messed up spot. And soon enough, he made his masterpiece, All Things Must Pass, and then sort of after that, he tried to one up that album, but he couldn't really do it like the other albums, but like that one album. But yeah, it's he still had a really great discography though. I really like his discography. My favorite solo Beatle discography. Uh, I was very happy to go over his discography. A lot of hidden gems, a lot of great hits off of him, and yeah, he's definitely well deserved to be my favorite solo Beatle. So that's sort of my Discog overview, very short, but I just sort of wanted to go over how I felt about George Harrison, and yeah, he was just a great solo Beatle. Well, time for my top 10 favorite songs by him. Number 10, uh, "This Is Love" from the Cloud Nine album. It's a great song, very catchy. I quite like it. Number 9, also from the Cloud Nine album, "When We Was Fab." Brilliant song. Very great song that capsulizes what he was like as a Beatle and all that. Number 8 is from the Extra Texture album, "You." I love that song. Number 7 is from the All Things Must Pass album, "Behind That Locked Doors." I love that song. Number 6, "All Things Must Pass" from All Things Must Pass. Oh, bleh, sorry. I read it wrong. All Those Years Ago from the Somewhere in England album. I still love All Things Must Pass though. It's not on my top 10 though. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know why I misread that. Sorry about that. If anyone was excited to see that on my list. Yeah, All Those Years Ago. I love that song. Great tribute to John Lennon. I love that. Number 5, "Blow Away" from his self-titled album. I love that song. Number 4, also from his self-titled album, "Love Comes to Everyone." Love that song. Number 3 is from the All Things Must Pass album, "My Sweet Lord." Definitely deserves to be in my top 3. Number 2, "Wah Wah." Another great song that deserves to be on my top 10. My absolute favorite George Harrison song, "What Is Life." I love that track. If you've never heard it before, go check it out. Now for my album ranking. Number 12, I mean, is it any surprise to anyone who knows his music? Electronic sound. That album is just garbage. Don't even want to go into it. Number 11, I'd say Wonderwall music. It's not entirely bad. It's not the best. It's not nearly as good as any of his other albums, but it's not bad enough for me to never listen to it again. Number 10, Brainwashed. I thought it was a decent closing for his discography, but it's nowhere near as good as the previous album, Cloud Nine. Number 9, Gone Troppo. Definitely, guys were definitely expecting that to be on the list, like lower on the list than. I don't hate the album; it's just very weak compared to his other albums. A lot of people hate that album with a passion. I don't hate it; it's just weaker compared to the others. And another album I think is weaker compared to the others is "Somewhere in England." Yeah, it's besides all of those years ago and surprisingly Teardrops. I'm not a fan of the album. 7 Up, I like basically all the albums a lot. Dark Horse is number 7. I really like the album. A lot of people hate it because his voice was messed up during the recording sessions, and that's a fair point to bring up. I don't blame you for thinking that, but I love Dark Horse, and it's a great album. Number 6, Extra Texture. People say his voice is too whiny on this record. And you know what's weird is everyone loves You, and that song he's the whiniest, and I love Extra Texture. It's a great album. There are some weaker songs on that album, but not enough for me to not like it at all. Number 5, 33 and a Third. Man, I love this album. I love 33 and a Third. You know, Cracker Box Palace. Yeah, there's just a lot of great songs. This song, just a great album. Living in the Material World's at number 4, and I love this album. Very essential for these next 4 albums. I say are very essential George Harrison albums. Cloud 9 is number 3, and it's a fantastic record. I love that record, but I just think the other 2 are better. Well, going through the track listing, Cloud 9, This Is Love, 2 songs. Got My Mind Set on You, which isn't on my top 10 list, but it's a fantastic song. George Harrison, 1979. That's my number 2 pick, and man, I freaking love this album. Love Comes to Everyone, Not Guilty. Here Comes the Moon, which a lot of people might not like, but I love it. Soft-Hearted Hana is amazing. Blow Away, Faster. Dark Sweet Lady, I think is the name of the one song. I forgot the name of the track, but I love that track too. The whole album is just a masterpiece. It's a perfect album. I just happen to like All Things Must Pass better, which is my number 1 spot, which will come to a surprise with no one, but how can you blame me? It's just a masterpiece album. To me, it's a perfect album, and it's the best solo Beatle album for sure. And yeah, I'm glad to put that in my number 1 spot. And I may or may not do my Paul McCartney review this week. Well, this Saturday. I might do it next week. I might start doing that next week. I have a little bit of things to do coming up. And hey, Briar. Yeah, you joined just as the video is about to end. But yeah, I love George Harrison's discography, and I'm excited to go through Paul McCartney's discography because he has lots of great albums. Band on the Run, Ram, Red Rose Speedway. He has many great albums. He doesn't have very, very few Paul McCartney albums I dislike. Even a lot of his 80s, even some of his 80s albums, like his post-70s albums, are really good. Very excited to go through those, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys